What's going on, guys? My name is Jake,
I'm Jesus.
and this is your Body Comp Prescription, where we help you navigate through all things health and fitness. We hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're going to teach you how to calculate your macros.
We talk about macros on this channel and podcast all the time, right? That's your proteins, fats, and carbs. But many of you guys may not know how to calculate those macros. So today we're going to break those down for you step by step, help you figure out how to reach your goal, regardless if you're cutting or bulking.
We put together a presentation for you guys. We'll use me as an example. We'll use my numbers so that'll be a little bit easier to follow for you. For those of you that don't like math, we apologize. We try to make this as easy as possible for you to follow, but go ahead and grab your pen, paper, and a calculator, and let's get started.
For those who are interested, we'll go ahead and link the document down below in the description. Go ahead and print it out and follow along for easy steps.
Before we start, just like any math problem, we need to identify our unknowns. So first we need to identify our height, weight, goal, age, and activity levels. For me, I'm 5'9", I'm 170 pounds. I'm trying to bulk or put on some weight. I'm 23 years old and I work out 4 times per week.
Now that we know our unknowns, we can move on to calculating our BMR. Our BMR is the calories that we need in order to maintain normal vital body functions. And in order to help us do that, we're going to need to convert our height from inches to centimeters and our weight from pounds to kilograms. Shout out to all the European folks who won't have to worry about this step. Let's start off with converting our height from inches to centimeters. In the bottom right hand corner of all these slides, we'll include our known elements to keep all our numbers nice and organized. We know Jake's height is 5 feet 9 inches or 69 inches. And in order for us to convert height to centimeters, we need to multiply our height in inches by 2.54 because there are 2.54 centimeters in every inch. And for Jake, we multiply 69 by 2.54 to give us 175.3 centimeters. Now let's convert our weight from pounds to kilograms. We know that there are approximately 2.2 pounds in 1 kilogram, and Jake weighs about 170 pounds. So we're going to need to divide his weight in pounds by 2.2 in order to find his weight in kilograms. This gives us 77.3 kilograms. For your converted weight and height, as we will be using these shortly.
And now we're ready to find our BMR. We need to find our BMR in order to get accurate numbers for our macronutrients. We're going to use the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation because this is considered to be the most accurate equation that you can use. Now the equation is a little bit different for males and females, so just follow along and use what applies to you. This is where a lot of people get lost, so we'll take it slow and we'll be just fine. We suggest doing this in 4 separate steps. First, we're going to multiply 10 by your weight in kilograms, which in my case is 773. Then we're going to multiply 6.25 times your height in centimeters, and we get 1095.63 for me, and then you're going to set that number aside as well. Next, you're going to multiply your age by 5, which is 23 times 5 for me, and then I get 115. And then I'm going to add 5 in our case, or subtract 161 if you're female. Now combine all those numbers together with the proper signs from the equation, and we get 773 plus 1095.63 minus 115 plus 5 to get our BMR of 1,758 calories per day. Now we need to account for activity levels. Our BMR is only relevant for passive calories burned, not active calories. So there are a couple of multipliers that you can pick from that best fit your activity levels. You want to be honest, otherwise you won't get an accurate adjusted BMR and you'll find improper macronutrients, which we don't want. Now for me, I'm moderately active. Remember, I train 4 times per week, which would give us a multiplier of 1.55. So we're going to take this BMR of 1,758 calories that we just found and multiply that by 1.55 to get 2,725 calories per day. And now we have our adjusted BMR that accounts for activity levels. And the last thing we need to do is account for your goal. If you want to bulk, we recommend adding between 200 and 500 calories to your adjusted BMR to account for your calorie surplus. And if you want to cut, you should subtract between 200 and 500 calories from your adjusted BMR to account for your calorie deficit. The number you choose will determine how aggressive you want to be. If you take away 200 calories, you're being a little bit more conservative. And if you want to choose something higher, like 500, you're going to lose weight a little more quickly because you're taking away more calories that you can eat in each day. For me, we know that I want to bulk or put on size, so we'll add 275 because it's in that range of 200 to 500 calories, and add that to my final calorie number, which makes it 3,000 calories per day. And now we're ready to start figuring out our macros. So first, we're going to start off with fat. You're going to take your final calories, which we just found, and multiply that by a number between 0.20 and 0.25. This is going to be completely up to you. For me, I'm just going to use 0.25 since I'm bulking. If you're cutting, you might want to err on the side of 0.20 or somewhere in between. You're going to take that number that you chose and multiply it by your final calories, which for me is 3,000, and that gives us 750 calories from fat. In order to get our number in grams, we need to divide that by 9 because we know that there are 9 calories per gram of fat, and that number for us is 83. You're going to want to save that number that you got for grams of fat and calories of fat. Now let's figure out our protein. Protein is nice and easy. You're just going to take your weight in pounds and multiply that by a number between 0.8 and 1.5. We generally recommend just picking 1 because 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is more than enough for most people. So in my case, I would just take 170 pounds, multiply that by 1 to get 170 grams of protein. The last thing we need to do before we move on is find our calories from protein. And we do that by multiplying our grams of protein, which is 170, and multiply it by 4 because we know there are 4 calories per gram of protein, and that gives us 680 calories. We're going to put those numbers aside and remember those as well, our calories from protein, as well as our grams of protein. Lastly, let's figure out our carbs. Because there's only one left, we can take our final calorie number of 3,000 and subtract that by our calories from fat, as well as our calories from protein to give us our calories from carbs. So in our case, that would be 3,000 minus 750 calories from fat and minus 680 calories from protein to give us 1,570 calories from carbs. And then all we do is take that number and divide it by 4 since we know that 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories per gram. And then that will give us our grams of carbs, which would be 1,570 divided by 4. And that gives us 392 grams of carbs. And then we put all that together and we know all of our macronutrients. For me, I consume 83 grams of fat, 170 grams of protein, and 392 grams of carbs per day to account for me and my goal, as well as my BMR.
And just like that, you know your macros. It'll be that much easier for you to reach your physique finish line.
We hope this helped. We put a lot of work into this video, but we know that there's a lot of you that had this question and didn't necessarily know how to get these numbers.
From the bottom of our hearts, we're asking you, if you like today's video, go ahead and smash the like button, go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, if you like this video, go ahead and share it with someone who you feel will benefit from today's video.
We love you guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.